need that trial and error. You need the experience. What do I want to create? Everything is a wave, and everything is consistency. And as long as you keep the consistency, it's always going to go up.
I sit down with Ignace Aleya, a VFX artist who is bringing Hollywood level effects to the masses on YouTube.
Hello, Peter.
He's been into the YouTube game far longer than me, and he is now teaching what he learned through his own epic VFX academy. Next to him, we have Arnaud, the business brain behind the whole channel.
Yeah, so that's his stuff.
He keeps things running. And I'm gonna ask them a few questions about YouTube. Well, more specifically, a few questions about running a successful YouTube channel. Should you go niche or should you go broad? How do you find focus with your content, and how do you make people watch your videos in the first place? Now, before we go there, I need to tell you, they were spitting out so much fire and so much value, I had to split this whole thing up into 2 episodes. Now, what you're watching here is part 2, but I'm gonna tell you more about that later. First, let's just get the show on the road.
For you, I have the first aha moment for you, I think, was like, okay, you can earn money with YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
When you made videos, because first you just put them on there. And
I got my first paycheck. I was like,
yeah,
I enjoy this and I get paid for it, and I'm a kid.
Yeah.
This is not right. Back in the time, because now I can, like, they're just sending ads in your letterbox, but back in the time, getting that letter from Google was like so privileged. I felt privileged to get that.
Yeah.
Also, like, obviously the trophy of 100K subscribers, it's a big achievement. And what I've noticed a lot in my career is that I grow very fast at a certain point, and then I just stay the same for a very long time. And it gets sometimes demotivating, but if you just keep doing that, if you just said, okay, I'm going to keep doing this thing, even though I don't improve, all of a sudden you again see that spike. So it's always going in those waves, and that's something that I've realized with everything in life. So I'm trying to just keep that consistency. And if you can maintain that, that's your only task. That's the most important. Obviously, trying to get better along the way.
You see sometimes like creators that just pop out of nowhere, right? Especially now with the whole TikTok and the shorts.
Fast.
So, but on the other hand, I do think like growing slowly, it might be better for the long-term like longevity of the channel.
Yeah, and also you're thinking a lot, because why is this not working? And you're trying to figure it out. So you're figuring out a lot more stuff than the people that are not having to figure this stuff out. They're just growing and it happens. So up until the moment it doesn't happen anymore, then what? So we understand why it's happening. Okay, maybe it's not happening as fast as them at our place and exactly as we want. But we do build an entire business around our channel because of it not going fast enough, and you're starting to search other ways of redeeming or building something, and then you're seeing that maybe in the end that's going to build or pay off better.
Yeah, but now if it happens, you are prepared.
We are prepared. So
I think that's
let it happen. Now I'm ready.
Well, you're never fully prepared, but
Yeah.
I think both are good. You know, you sometimes you have people pop up, but those are the exceptions. You can never. There's some they've been doing it for a while, or they have some luck, or they have a unique skill, or they always have something.
Always background.
Yeah, always background, and they do something. They see something other people don't see. They do something totally different.
That's the thing. It's never overnight.
No, and if they get big quickly, they probably all have a team around them, and you know, so both are fine. It's just not our story. That's okay too. Yeah, because we'll get there.
Well, we have similar stories. For example, Arnaud also wanted to try his own channel, and he took on a challenge to get fit.
Yeah, true. That challenge.
And that video went viral instantly. Yeah. So we do know how to achieve success in that say. But yeah, you need also the right topic, the right audience. Like, okay, VFX isn't going to just go viral unless we integrate it in a way that everybody wants to watch at this. But we have built an audience around that very niche, which is also strong, because we also see with bigger channels that have like everyone watching at them, it's really hard to find sponsors, really hard to monetize the thing, because you have an audience that is just so broad. Of course, you can put Coca-Cola to make an ad there, because everybody drinks Coca-Cola. But it's like if a camera brand comes to us, they know people that are going to see this. They want cameras, they want computers, it's the only thing they want.
I'm just wondering, how do you guys feel towards having the channel like being super niche versus, like you said, like the broader channels? Like if someone would start fresh, like what should they go for?
If you're starting out and you're just young and you don't have any experience in live, then just make a channel and make it all about everything, and you're going to have maybe 50 viewers, and those 50 viewers are going to tell you what they enjoy the most. And I hope you enjoy it just making videos for 50 people, because that's enough. 50 people are already watching your content. And if you can just accept that, then you're going to be growing into the area that you eventually want to go in. But you need that experience. You need that trial and error. You need the experience. If you have a background, on the other hand, in, for example, you've been a director for many years and you come on the scene like Casey Neistat. He had so much background, but he owns the platform instantly. But yeah, that's because he has all the experience. If you don't have that, you cannot do what he is doing. And a lot of people don't understand that. So you do need the niche eventually, but it's not like the most important thing when you're starting out. If you're starting out, you just need to learn how to start out.
In theory, I would also always advise go niche first, because otherwise you have so much competition. And if you have something that you're really passionate about, for instance, solving a Rubik's Cube, and you are very good at that, and you can use that in your YouTube channel and can make very specific videos of of problems that people have, then you can grow quicker than, I think, a broad channel. But for instance, Casey Neistat, he already had a lot of experience, so he went broad because he knows how to tell a story. And telling a story, that's one of the hardest parts to do. If you can't tell a story, then you're golden. But you don't need to tell a story to make videos about a Rubik's Cube.
No, it's why I'm asking the question is because a problem that people have once they start out in a niche is that, you get known for being that guy.
That's true.
The Rubik's guy. And then if you're doing something that you're passionate about, but you're like, hey, I'm more than just the Rubik's guy, right?
I had that problem.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that going further along?
You just
grow. Do you say, like, do you mention that to the audience and say, like, hey, I also want to do some other stuff here? Do you put that in between, or you just stay focused on that and then maybe build another channel if you really want to do something else?
I think there are many solutions to this question. How I would see it is if people would come to me and so I didn't start out as a VFX guy. I did literally everything on the channel as well. I played around with everything. It's kind of under the same dome, let's say. It's graphic design, web design. I then started doing visual effects and just learning everything along the way. I had zero experience at that point, but I shared again everything on the YouTube channel. And now I'm being seen as an expert in the field, but I had zero experience when I started. It's just you grow with it and the direction you want to grow. And that's what you should do as a YouTuber. You want to grow in another direction, do that. And if you want to change your topic completely from the channel, do that little by little. You start doing one video and you see with the audience, okay, what's going up. And if they don't enjoy that particular content, you try to find a way to mix it with the content that you're already doing and still having that new little spice that you're trying to push out also in there. So like that, you could do it.
A little bit like a tester. Just putting one video out in between the others and see like how does the audience respond.
Don't just completely abruptly change.
Out of the blue. And if you do, for instance, you do the Rubik's Cubes tutorials, but you also want to create a family channel, then I would create a second channel. Yeah. If
it's too broad away from what you're doing.
Also, if you want to keep doing the first thing. But then
if you don't want to do the first thing and you have a famous video about the Rubik's Cube, you just continue on that channel.
Yeah, I would, because
you have an other idea about that, I know, because you have that famous video or viral video that kind of screwed you.
we can say whatever on the podcast.
Okay, cool.
It's not in the same direction I want to be as a creator. So that's why I didn't want to, because eventually that would have been the perfect moment for me to capitalize on that video. Yeah, I wasn't ready in that moment. It was something that just happened, and I didn't know how to capitalize that moment.
Exactly.
Of like, what should I do now? I get bored of doing the same thing over and over again. Me too. So I have to find something new, and starting a new project, I
have the same thing with getting bored of things really quickly, and I think that is how every artist is going to be like, that is making change, because if you're always going to do the same thing, you're never going to grow in a way. But like, for example, with like, I hate rotoscoping or doing like repetitive things, tasks in the VFX industry. And also when I do VFX, I just like to prove myself, okay, I can create the scene. I'm not gonna create 100 scenes with the same effect. I hate that. It's like I have to do it over again. Or I have to do that in 4 different shots. So I have to start the same thing over. I just want to create one time good. And I'm proud of myself, I'm happy, and I want to move on to the next task in VFX. But VFX has so much to offer that I can always create something different. It's always a new challenge. But I couldn't do visual effects in a way like for a company where just my task is this from morning till evening and just do that for 20 years straight with your knowledge of VFX. And it's never going to change. You're just going to do that. No, thank you. You always have responsibilities and tasks that you have to do. Not everything can be fun, but the balance should be right. And
And that we've learned over years, there needs to be focus.
Yeah.
Something that you are focusing on, because we too want to do too many things, because we have so many ideas, so many things that could get big that we could, but we can't make 10 things big. We could in the future if we have a team. Right now, stick to what we're good at, stick to what we think.
Look at our history.
Yeah,
we've done everything.
We've done everything, but now we have the YouTube channel and the academy. Those are things that we are really working hard on, and if that evolves into something bigger, and if that gets better, then we can focus on other things as well, because we have so many ideas.
Now it's time to prove on that one. Anyway, everything that we've done until this point was necessary process to get here.
100%.
But if I look back 5 years ago, I had like a dream on where I wanted to be today. And if I look at that dream, because I put it on paper on a comment on YouTube, and I got a reminder of that video, and I saw exactly what I wanted to achieve in 5 years. And I just surpassed everything that I wanted in 5 years on that moment. So my thoughts on that moment, that little time capsule is just obliterated. And so,
that's nice,
so that made me happy. So that made me realize, okay, I should be happy, and even I could be happier. I'm very happy because I achieved exactly the goals I've written down. And so
I saw somewhere a quote that said, we overestimate what we can do in a day, but we underestimate what we can do in a year. And I always try to keep that in mind.
100%.
Because every time I look back on everything that I did in that year, I know, okay, I'm still going.
Yeah.
And I have the mentality of like, it's not my time yet. I'm still working towards something.
Stick
so when I know the moment, we'll know when the moment will come, but then it's going all in.
You have to stick to the plan.
Yeah.
And don't, this is not working. Oh, let's change. Because I know, we've worked with a lot of people, and some people are like, they do something, for instance, on YouTube for 10 videos. Yeah. And they're like, this is not working. I'm going to
I've seen a lot of people
totally
like 3 months. It's not working.
No.
Bitch, please.
Exactly. After a week, people after a day, it's not working. It's like you have to put that limit away. Like if it's not working, try it a year. And if it doesn't work, then definitely change. And of course, only an idiot does the same thing over and over again and expects different results. But you need the time to at least give it some moment in the and definitely also like, did you really do the same thing for a year, or did you always do something else, kind of, and you just filled the year and you have like we also built channels where we always tried something else and always evolved. But if we would have just stick to the plan from the beginning and just do that until now, maybe it would have been a bigger success. You don't know that.
No.
But it's hard because it's an emotional game and it's a facts game as well.
I think it's the first part is the hardest. Like the emotional game of YouTube is like knowing that you're doing the right thing and just sticking with it, and knowing when you're not doing the right thing. Right?
Agreed.
When you have to like try something new. And not stagnate with what you're doing. I have a lot of comments saying like, "Hey, you're doing so many great videos, and why is the channel not growing?" Right?
Yeah.
That in a way it's like devastating to read that because you're like, "Yeah, I know why isn't." But on the other hand, it's like I'm just putting in my time.
Yeah.
Like my time for the juice, and it will come eventually. And I'm not trying to look at the numbers anymore.
Yeah, a great metaphor for this is, for example, going to gym. Like you go in there, and after a day, you did a hard workout. You sweat 2 hours straight, and you come back home, you see zero difference in the mirror. You go the next day, or you're too tired the next day. So you go the day after, and you train again, and you do that a week, and still you don't really see any difference. So you quit. And you say it's not going to work out. But do that a year, and you would have seen such a big improvement. So you really have to believe in the fundamentals of the idea and just set your mind to the idea and just believe on the result that you're going to achieve in that set time period. You just have to believe that it's going to be the best choice. It's the same with investing. It's the same with everything. You just have to believe that that's the right path to take. And of course, you may potentially take a wrong path, and then you have to just change a path later on.
You're going forwards.
You can't expect immediate results. You really have to put in the time.
So you have to make every consistent week a video, and after a year you will see results. But after a month of creating 4 videos every week, nobody's gonna know. You're gonna have the same miserable views, and people give up.
And it's so fun because this is advice that everyone keeps saying, and nobody's listening. And then a few do listen. It's necessary to be here because that's only going to be the biggest difference between the people that are serious and the people that just want to try stuff and play around. And it shows a lot of dedication also to a person who succeeded after such a long time, because he didn't give up. So a question regarding all of that, like if you would start again with the channel completely from zero, just delete this one and you could decide what the topic would be. It could still be the same, or you could do something different. How would you tackle that?
I would really focus on quality and like something that's like great thumbnail, great title, everything great, and then something shareable.
But then why I would choose like to upload more frequently is because it's easier topics. You just take your camera, you record something, and you're not so limited by yourself. Because if you know I'm going to record 1 video a month and it has to be epic, you're going to be so blocked if you don't have all that creative juices yet, if you don't have all the experience yet.
True.
And you're
100%.
going to get into a procrastination, and you're going to get into a block, and you're not going to be uploading anything. It's my opinion, unless you have the skill sets to back it up.
Why?
So that's why I'm saying just upload as much as possible, because then you have no more rules. You don't have any excuses anymore. Every day you need your video. It's not there by the end of the day, you failed. If you just, the longer you put that schedule, the harder it becomes, in my opinion.
The reason also why I say this is because Tom said when we would delete your channel and you already, we are still who we are right now.
Yeah.
You know, and we have those skills. Just then for visual effects, I would, for instance, make like Warzone in real life.
For example,
you know, and something really put a month or 2 months into that, but something that's you can post on Reddit, on Facebook, in groups, something that could go viral, and that people are saying like, whoa, this is so insanely well made. Because this could get you to 10K subscribers in a week, and all those separate videos, if they aren't the highest quality, it would take you hundreds of videos.
No, in our case, Arnaud is 100% right. We should do that route with our experience. I was putting myself in the shoes of like, what would I do if I started over again, like literally back in that moment. But you are saying my channel gets deleted today with the skill set that I have acquired over the time. What would I do now? Arnaud's choice for sure. Yeah,
this is so cool to hear, because I can see like you have the whole creative mind in there. You're like, get better, get used to creating a lot. And then you can see him. He's like shareability and like let's just get this to be as successful as it could be. That's where the match is like really perfect, but it's nice to see this in this answer.
Because I don't always, I think of an exciting idea as a creative, and not necessarily, of course it's important, because in our niche, what Arnaud sees as going viral is not what VFX people want to see necessarily. I have to say what they want to see, even though that's also hard for me to know. So that's a topic that maybe makes it difficult on our channel to really discuss what they want to see, because Arnaud cannot really put himself 100% in the place of a VFX artist. He can, after all these years, for a great part, but it's still different. But if we would be for a topic like a general public and just to impress everybody with our skill set, there is where the magic comes in, and really, and that's also something that we're trying to become more accessible to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
But I truly believe that the title, the thumbnail, like the packaging of your video, might be like 51% of the whole video. Like if that isn't there, nobody will click, and all the effort you put into the video is just lost.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, there's almost no great tutorial on like how to do this, because it's so
complicated to explain.
It's such a difficult task, because you're working with human behavior, right? Like why would someone click on this?
There's no template for this,
right? What I would love to hear from you guys is like, how does that workflow look like?
Well, first I want to answer that we're still struggling with the right title for our channel, because we do know how to make viral titles, but we are finding that those might not be the titles that our channel audience wants to see.
Yes.
So we need to make viral titles for VFX artists.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And that's something that we're still struggling with because we don't know, like Mr. Beast titles in a VFX way doesn't work with us. It doesn't. So
it's like also knowing your who
Knowing
is
your
the
audience.
video going to be for?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how we do it now is we always start with a topic of a video. For example, okay, the new Spider-Man video comes out. We're gonna do something with Spider-Man. So we try to find an epic scene that relates to VFX because that's the topic of the channel. And then we already start brainstorming for titles right away. Thumbnails come later at the end. But yeah, we could go and capture footage for that thumbnail. So we really try to design them and feedback them, put them in there and check them with other thumbnails. These are also getting more better by the time that we're
I've seen like the latest thumbnails from the channel. Like I went back to do some research on the channel and like over the 10 years that you've been doing this and like it's a different style almost, and you can see also the waves that YouTube has gone through of like these were the thumbnails that worked in that moment, right? Because it's also a little bit of a cultural thing, like
100%.
what works. So the more filmmaking and more photography related channels, they don't do the Mr. Beast ones. No, they have to have something that looks nice. It needs to be aesthetic.
And that's where the thing comes in. Like you should stop at a certain point. You should stop consuming content and just do your thing, and then see what works for you through your own analytics. But don't get too much thrown off by other creators. Okay, Mr. Beast is doing great, but I don't think we need to look too much. We need to learn from his success, but we don't need to copy him at all. So we need to just understand how he looks into his analytics and how we should look into our analytics and make our judgment based on that. I think we should go more into that direction. And that's all. Yeah, that's something that is happening naturally. The more experience you get, the more confidence you get, the less you feel needy to do these things. So
let's do the quick round. And round this up. I was looking at some, like a little bit YouTube myths and stuff that's been going around, and I just want a short answer from both of you. So YouTube prefers longer videos.
No, that doesn't matter. The question is, can you make a 10-minute video or a 15-minute video that's super engaging, like Mr. Beast with his Squid Game video? Do that. You know, that obviously everything will go up, your watch time, whatever, but it could be short video as well. You know, depends on what your style is. So
changing the video's title and thumbnail after a video is published is bad.
No. You do it all the time.
Why isn't it bad?
Well, you first have to look at the metrics and look how it's going. It's not going that well. You might want to change your, for instance, your title or your thumbnail. I would personally start with the thumbnail first. I'm not sure if that's the official way to do it or the best way, but it's the biggest change visually. So then you could really see something changing, or I would do them both if I'm not convinced anymore. Because if you change your thumbnail, it has to go together with the title as well. So yeah, but I would change it up if I'm not satisfied with the click-through, with our baseline click-through, because it depends so much on your industry.
You're smiling here.
No, I saw him thinking, going in his place and captivating all those moments.
Okay, so next one for you. Idea-based channel or personality-based channel?
Personality-based channel.
Why?
Because it can combine the idea into the personality, but the personality is why people come back. If you want people to build a relationship with you and come back, you need that personality. You can also be just how to and give them the information, and you will have a lot of views, but you will have 0 super fans. You will have nobody caring about you eventually, or a few. But that's because you still have a little bit of personality in there, even though you didn't realize it.
I think so too. Because with an ID channel, what you could have is that some videos pop up really high because people search for it and whatever. But with a personality channel, your views will be more consistent. So maybe growing, it will be not as easy. But if people are connected to a person, and for instance, like for you, if you then start talking about climate and why you're passionate about it and showing it why it's so important, people will follow as well. So yeah, personality, I would do that.
So like Mr. Beast is, for example, a combination with idea and personality.
I think he started more as a idea based.
Yeah.
And now because of his ideas,
his personality,
he's become a personality.
Yeah. Because he also sees it in a team perspective, and it's a team effort. So in that case, you have 2 types of channels. You have a team behind it, or you have a person. And if it's just one person bringing the channel, the personality is the most important thing. If you have a team, it's hard to bring a personality in front, but then you have multiple personalities and you build also that family vibe. And
exactly. And
yeah.
Most one-person channels or team channels, just the team is not visible.
So I have another one probably for you, but chime in if you want to, because it's probably more his game. The algorithm doesn't like my videos.
Yeah, the algorithm is can be a bitch.
But true or false?
But no, because it will show it to people and react on how people react. So if people click a lot on your videos and they watch a long part of your videos will go up. But if you already have a YouTube channel about cooking and then you start a cooking channel on the same channel about video editing, and it shows it to your subscriber base first because that's the basis, and they don't like it at all, then YouTube thinks it's a bad video. So that could be a problem. And I think, and some people
can get optimized better.
Some people get shadow banned and stuff like that. So that's also, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So
it's a hard thing to figure out. But I do think that in the end, it doesn't matter. The quality is the most important thing. And the audience retention. So the longer people watch your videos and actually click on your video with a click-through rate, then the more success you're going to see. And it's going to grow over time. And to get the ball rolling, you have to indeed look at a video that performs well and then pick up on that topic like you're doing right now. I do think that's the best way of doing it. It's not always the easiest way and not always the thing I want to do, because that's the problem I have with something that I've done and it went to success. How do you do the exact same thing but still different? Because I want something different too. And then,
because most people that say the algorithm doesn't like me, they keep doing the same thing over and over again, and they never do something radically different. And I think you have to go radically different to shift it.
But on the other hand, going radically different every single upload would also not be the solution. So you need to have enough time to see if the change affected your channel. So it's a healthy balance.
Go crazy enough.
So then I would want to go to both of you and ask the question like, hey, what is the secret?
My secret.
Determination, I think, is our biggest secret. We just don't give up. We're going to keep trying. We keep failing and we are just going to keep trying. And people fail and they give up.
But it's no secret.
It's not a secret, but it's the secret.
So enjoy it. Yeah, so don't stress out where you're right now. Oh, I'm not where I want to be. That's normal. You have the journey that you have to go through. But put in the time, put in the effort. Make sure you enjoy what you do, and then it will come. It's so cliche, but it's true. Yeah,
it's very cliche, and but there is no other secrets. All the secrets have been spilled. The people just don't care to look at them.
Exactly. Everything is out there.
Now, if you really liked everything that we said here, note that there's the audio-only podcast on creator secrets that goes a little bit more into the history of Ignace and Arnaud, how they made the leap to full-time YouTube. So to listen to that, go search for Creator Secrets in your favorite podcast app or use the link down in the description below. And one more thing, let me know what you guys thought of having a whole episode here on a channel. Okay, Ignace, I think you wanted to say something else.
Alright, so for the people that want to learn how to create epic videos, do stop by the channel Ignace Aleya. I teach you all about it right there. And if you want to get even more dedicated, we also have an academy for everyone to learn visual effects from A to Z. A link will be under every video. You can check it there.